Welcome, everybody, to Sasha and Goff, live recorded. I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff.
And we are back this week with our favorite, we didn't even tease it last week, mustaches. Woo! That is right. Christmas makes you think of one thing, and it's facial hair above your lip, the North Pole of your face, or of your mouth. I don't know. Whatever. How you doing, Goff?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm making probably
we're going to use that for AI later.
I was trying to make it a globe and making the mustache the North Pole. I'm doing great. How are you doing, my friend? Besides this polar vortex we're in, but I think it's almost over.
Honestly, it wasn't even as bad as they said it was going to be, at least for me. I've been in and out all day, and I thought it was going to be a complete disaster. Besides my dog having some issues, like walking or whatever, it was not perfectly fine. It still sucks, but it's not as bad as it could have been. What's your work situation? Were you working this weekend?
No, I actually, nice. With no snow, I got out of it. It was great. But with this, the polar vortex, so the negative weather, I did have to do a couple building checks over the weekend. And the two that I had were this morning. One was at 1 a.m. and then one was at 5 a.m. So about a 30-minute drive to get there at 1 a.m. for about 45 minutes, came home, slept for like 2 hours, and then drove back and did the same thing. I was on the rooftop checking. I mean, let me tell you, that time of night when it is like in the winter time, I mean, it is so goddamn dark and just like unforgivingly cold and just like, I don't want to say scary, but I mean, like, there's just something eerie about being out. Like, I mean, it's like people aren't supposed to be out this late in the winter time. It's weird.
You don't find any sort of peace in it?
No, I mean, of course, it's traffic is great. You know, I don't have to worry about that. I mean, I just jumped on the interstate and flew there, got there way quicker. Obviously, that's great. But no, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of what I had to do was like outside as well.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes I take my dog out at like midnight and there's just nothing going on my street. Like, you know, everybody's lights are out. People are sleeping. You can't hear anything. I'm not near any major roads, so there's no cars going by. And it's just like, you forget how quiet everything really is or whatever.
Well, do you ever go out with headphones on?
No,
like, no. I mean, to where because there's times where I'll do that. I'll find myself outside and it's like, holy shit, I got to take these off. I mean, I could get like, I just how quiet. Yeah, like you said. I mean, anyone could come up from behind me. Probably has.
Gross. Anyway, thank you guys for listening as you always do. We decided to do mustaches this week, and I got some bonus. I got a bonus section for you. I also did my top and bottom goatees, which we were kind of joking about when me and you were talking off pod. But I was like, you know what? Goff is probably going to come up with a list, so I better come up with one. And then I asked you, and you're like, no, that's a horrible thing to do.
I thought it was hysterical when you did it, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. And you're like, well, I was just kidding, kind of, but if you want to, so I just forgot.
That's okay. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like my list, and I think we're going to have plenty to talk about. So last week, or I don't know when it was that we talked about, yeah, it was last week. You know what? We've been doing weekly shows because we've been recording on Zoom. So if we do that, we can't do two episodes in one day. It's just too much. Yeah. And I think next week, the Christmas, our second ever Sasha and Goff live recorded Christmas Cranktacular 2, baby.
Woo!
Can you believe it's lasted long enough to do 2 Christmas Cranktaculars, Goff?
I know. And then some.
So next week's episode is going to be all Christmas related stuff. In fact, if you have anything that you want from us to talk about Christmas related, whether it's a top 3 list of any sort of Christmas ideas or just like completely random topics about Christmas, we're happy to talk about anything. You guys can just let us know. You know the ways to do it. sasaandgoff@gmail.com, at Sasha and Goff on Instagram, 1-727-266-6469. Leave us a voicemail, which, by the way, we have one this week. We have a couple comments as well from last week's episode. We were talking about Eddie and Jobo, local Chicago celebrities since
Heroes.
like the 80s or probably at least the 90s.
Yeah.
And our dear friend Giuseppe in Milan actually left my favorite comment that he's ever left on our YouTube page, and I thought I'd read that. He said, I had no idea that Jobo died, which is crazy. You would think that they would put that, even in Italy, that would be like the headline news over there.
Yeah, yeah.
But he says, I had no idea Jobo died or that he was 70. Eddie and Jobo were my childhood. I remember when they were fired because Joan Esposito of NBC sued them because Jobo said she was impregnated by a player on the Chicago Bulls. And Giuseppe was so pumped when they rehired them a few years later, but it just wasn't the same. Yeah. I don't remember that story. That's such an excellent story. It's also amazing, this sentence in general. Eddie and Jobo were my childhood is my favorite sentence of all time.
Absolutely.
If you think one Chicago Bulls player from the 90s could have impregnated NBC's Joan Esposito, who would you think it was? Because I'm going to go Dickie Simpkins all day. I have to go with Dickie Simpkins.
What about Rodman?
No, he was wearing
too obvious.
Too much. It's either Judd Bushler or Dickie Simpkins. If you have a better answer, let us know. Let us know which Chicago Bull you think impregnated.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say it's Steve Kerr.
Oh wow, that's nasty. That's nasty.
That's nasty.
Thank you, Giuseppe, for
yes, thank you.
What was my favorite comment of all time? We also did our top 3 action movies, which was a pretty interesting and tough list for us to do. And Hattori Hanzo left a comment. He said, action movies are tough to rank, ranking based on how many times I've watched them since a kid. He did number 3, The Rock, which is
great
Nicolas
movie.
Cage and Sean Connery. Number 2, Bloodsport, which of course. And number 1, RoboCop, which I gotta watch RoboCop. I gotta get back into it.
Dude, RoboCop for its time is so ultra violent. I mean, it's insane. Like you watch that now and you're like, good God, like how graphically violent it is. Really quick too, I got on Instagram, I got a top 3 from Greek Pete, who also big fan of action films. He sent in his top 3. They are sorry, what do we got here?
All Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, Die Hard, Commando, and Rambo 2. Also, I've been thinking of the best movies of the past 5 years, which we did talk about. We were trying to remember like a great movie we had seen recently, and he said, can't think of too many. The ones that I liked were John Wick 4, Top Gun Maverick, and Spider-Man No Way Home. I did like all 3 of those movies. Top Gun Maverick, I couldn't believe how much I liked that movie. I couldn't believe how good
No
that
Way
was.
Home?
It was the most recent Spider-Man movie. It was like the third. Spider-Man No Way Home. Sorry.
Spider-Man and a movie called No Way Home. Okay, so I was also thinking about John Wick movie. Last week after we recorded, I went and I watched a movie. I'm not going to say which one until we get to our thumbs up, thumbs down section. But I was so inspired, and like we got done recording pretty early last week, so I was like, I'm going to watch a movie. I considered watching John Wick. And then I was thinking about like all the John Wick movies. There's 4 of them.
They're long. They're long. Yeah, they're
long. Are they all good?
They're all great. They're all very good. Like if you like any of them, you can't really not like any of the other ones. And I guess if you don't like one of them, then it's probably the same thing. They're fantastic. I mean, like they're just the amount of work that goes into those is just, even if you're like, wow, I don't like all the violence, you're still just impressed.
Yeah, that was one that I was considering, and I think I'm going to at least try and watch the first one here before the end of the year. I'll put that list on it.
I got to tell you though, the whole thing that springs John Wick into action, you're not
I know.
Like. Okay,
I know.
All right.
I am aware of it.
So if you know what, it's right in the beginning of the first movie, and then it's kind of over, so that's good. But
yeah, other people have also warned me about that.
Okay, all right.
Knowing me personally, they're like, yeah, you're not gonna like
this.
I
don't want you to see that, and then all of a sudden you're like, fuck this.
I hate
10
all
minutes into the first movie, and it's like, we're done. We are done.
We also got a voicemail here from Hattori Hanzo. We got a quick hitter here I want to play for you real quick. So let me see if you can hear it. But Oh, son of a bitch. Hold on.
Mm-mm.
I think I broke it.
Oh, no. You broke the internet.
Sucks. BDI sucks. That is all I have to say for tonight. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Hattori Hanzo. Gladiator 2 sucks. And
It does
BDI
suck.
sucks. And if you don't know BDI, just you can agree or disagree. BDI actually messaged me this week a threat because actually he wanted an apology from me because of a shirt that I made, which you can check out and purchase on sasaandgoff.com. And I did send him an apology.
That was a great conversation.
I did say, BDI, I do apologize. We've been friends for a very long time. However, if you do like The Big Bang Theory, which I don't know whether you do or not, but I'm just saying, if you do, apology rescinded. I will not apologize to anyone who watches that show. So, love you, BDI. I love your lack of sleeves.
Yeah, I got to agree with Hattori Hanzo. Their Gladiator 2 did suck. I was going to mention that last week when you mentioned the first one, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to cut into your like of the first one, but
that's okay. I don't need to have a second one. The first one was good enough for me. And thank you for the phone call, Hattori. We appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
I got about 95% of my Christmas shopping done this weekend. I'm almost completely done, so a little bit of weight off the shoulders. Where are you at on the it's next week, man?
Oh, yeah. So I bought, it was nice. We went out for lunch today. I got to see my family, the ones who still live stateside, and also Elf from Melmac. We went out for my mom's birthday. So we did decide that we were going to do our Christmas after New Year's Eve. So I bought myself a little bit of time there. Okay. However, those people are the ones I pretty much already bought for. So it's like, all right, good. That's good. As far as my family, Joni took care of most of the kids' stuff, so I kind of just have to deal with her and then Secret Santa. So I'd say I'm probably about 60% done.
Nice, excellent.
Yeah.
This weekend I only did one thing. I went. I did something yesterday that involved three things that I do not like. I drove to Yorkville, Illinois, to play poker.
Whoa.
And in the background was a WWE event on television. John Cena's final ever match was on TV last night.
Who did he wrestle?
Gunther. He lost to Gunther, a.k.a. Walter, a.k.a. Hattori Hanzo's favorite wrestler, since Stan Hansen. He's the man. He is the man. But that show sucked because the WWE sucks. The drive to Yorkville sucked. I've driven many times to my dear friend Pee Wee's house. I haven't been there in quite a while, and I made 3 wrong turns, thinking that I was like almost there, and then I was not anywhere near there. I hate that drive so much, but I was making that drive because I wanted to see Pee Wee, and I wanted to see our dear friend producer Tony, who I haven't seen in a while. And then I was like, oh, maybe somebody else will be at poker that I know. That was not the case. I didn't know the other people involved. But I don't like poker, right? It's just not for me. I'm not a fan. I don't really know how to play. I know how to play, but I don't really know how to play. I also can't shuffle cards and deal. That's not something I'm interested in. So anytime like a game is going on, I'm like, no, I'm out.
That is kind of part. It goes with it. I mean, like if you want to try to at least like fit in, you got to at least know how to shuffle.
Yeah, and I don't want to fit in. This is how bad I don't want to fit in. So I went to this thing expecting that I was going to play and just lose money to people, but just like have a good time and, eat some cookies and and whatever. And I wanted to be like, if necessary, just a warm body that could be there to make the game better. But when I got there was a total of 7 people, like already.
Okay.
So I was like, that's enough. They don't need an 8th person. 7 is perfectly fine and like a good amount of people to play poker. So I just sat on a couch next to everybody playing poker. It's more for me because I didn't really want to be playing poker. But then I was thinking, I was like, is this weird for anybody else? Like one guy asked me, he's like, where are you sitting? And I was like, here, like on the couch. I'm not moving. I'm just here to hang out. I wanted to see Tony, just talk a little bit about whatever, just
during this
stupid stuff
poker
we
game.
Yeah. And so Tony was kind of like half seated at the table and half towards the couch that I was sitting at, but it worked for him. He won the tournament that they played. So
Nice.
I probably good luck for Tony. But yeah, is that weird? Is that weird that
yeah,
it is, right?
I mean, for the people who don't know you, it's hilarious because it's like, especially if you're sitting next to one of these guys, they're probably just like also like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why is this guy here? Because usually, I mean, yeah, for poker games, I mean, you might have people hanging out like off to the side, but usually not talking to the players. So
yeah, and I
weird,
was
weird.
the only one not playing. And when the guy was like, "Oh, you're not playing," I was like, "No, I'm security for the day." So
Nice.
that got a little bit of a laugh. But then tensions did rise, as they happen to do in poker games sometimes. And I was like, "All right, guys, I gotta go. Security is out of here. Once there's actual things happening, I have no interest in being here." But yeah, I had a good time. But then on the way home, I was like, I wonder if that was awkward for everybody else involved. Like Pee-wee asked me a couple of times. He was like, "Please just come sit at the table." He's like, "I will pay for you to play." And I was like, "I don't want to play and I don't want to shuffle. And you guys have a good group of 7 people. Just leave me alone." And so that was that. So that was my weekend. Anything exciting in your neck of the woods, or are we moving on?
No, I just wanted to mention one thing real quick. So I've noticed over the years that the amount of Christmas cards we're getting is just dwindling more and more. And I think that has to do with the fact that we don't send one out really. And the weirdest thing is that the woman who used to live in this house, who has been deceased for like 5 or 6 years, is getting more Christmas cards this year than we are. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Also, on top of that, Jody's yelling at me like every day because I won't go to the post office, because she's like, "You go to the post office like every day," and she wants me to go get like this canceled. Like, and we've talked to the post office, and like they won't cancel the mail for whatever reason. So like we're gonna try to go in person and bring like the deed to the house and everything. And yeah,
you're not going to like this, but I've actually talked to USPS Marty, my dear friend, who I haven't seen in a while because I don't go to the post office anymore.
Yeah.
But we have the same issue. The people who lived here before, we still get their mail. We've been here 10 years. We still get their mail, not like tons and tons of it, but it still comes occasionally. And so I always bring it to Marty, and he's like, I was like, "Is there anything I can do about this?" And he's like, "No, it has nothing to do with like any sort of list or anything. Like it's just like it's kind of like it falls through the cracks from these particular ones. So like most of their mail is going to them if they're still alive. I don't know. They were very, very old Greek people, and a priest came to my house thinking that the guy still lived here. So I don't think he is still with us. Unless the priest worked. Maybe the priest worked. I don't know. But I think it was a end of life situation over there, but I still get like medical bills and stuff from them. So
yeah,
I don't know.
We got like a credit card offer the other day for her, so it's like we're like, you know what? I mean, like if we're living in the house, maybe we should. But yeah, it's weird. So
I got 2 days ago a credit card, or no, it was an insurance, Progressive Insurance or something, to my name at the house that I currently live at. And under my name, it said DCWA Inc., which is the name of my backyard wrestling federation over 25 years ago. And that's my credit. Like, that's my, they're like, yeah, this guy, he runs that company, which I believe BDI possibly owns that. I think he got his lawyer to secretly like put in a bid for DCWA Inc. many years ago. He's going to be pissed when he hears this.
Is this his high-priced Albanian lawyer that I hear about every week on YouTube?
Yep,
in the comment section.
The highest price you can pay an Albanian, absolutely, or Turkish or whatever they are. I don't know.
I love it.
All right, well that means it's time for thumbs up, thumbs down. That's when we talk about music and movies and TV shows and sprinklers and meat and anything we want to. Basically giving recommendations and a thumbs up and a thumbs down, what we're putting inside ourselves. That's what we used to call it. But now look at us. We've grown. This is what we've grown to. Thumbs up, thumbs down. So
thumbs up, thumbs down. You want to go first? Or you want me to go?
Why don't you go this week?
All right, my friend. I've got a few things for you. I'm gonna start off. I got a little bit of stand-up comedy here. I've been
Look
on
at
a roll
you.
the last few weeks. Yeah, came across the reel of this guy, and I've seen him a few times. So I was like, you know what? I guess I'll watch his special. Andy Huggins. You familiar?
Oh, the old man.
The old man. Yep.
Yeah,
I saw.
Tremendous.
Spoiler, just a really, really funny joke about him talking about how women's life expectancy is longer. So he's talking about how he wants to transition, which is just amazing for a guy who's like 85 years old. Yeah, you know what? I found for the most part, his jokes are, I was surprised actually. I heard him drop like an F-bomb in one of them, and I was like, oh, I thought he was going to be like more, which, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. I thought he's pretty wholesome. A lot of fun. The only thing I think I realized, I'm not a big fan of that kind of joke telling, which is just one-liners, just literally, hey, I did this, and then this happened. And then you just, you know, there's no cohesive story. It's literally just this and then that. You know what I mean?
That's where we're different, because I love one-liners.
You love that?
Love one-line. I hate not hate, but like storytelling comedians to me is like, the joke is the one-liner that's in the story to me. Like that's my favorite part of your story, is the one-liner, because that's the actual joke writing part. I'm not saying that, you know, the story isn't, but the story is like, I'm taking people for a ride. This is the hook to get people in there. The one-liner is like, this is the joke. This is the joke. This is the joke. Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying, but like, yeah, just kind of even like my style, like I know, which is why when I like telling stories, I love, you know, like, hey, we're going to let this mellow out a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, very funny. And like I said, I mean, you know, there was a few of them. It's like the jokes just see, like when they're rattling them off that quickly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, they're not all going to hit. So it's just like, okay, some of them, but that's a good thing too. If it's not a very funny joke, you just move right on. Okay. Next up, what do I have here? Where is this? Sorry. Oh, okay. Netflix documentary, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. So
oddly enough, we talked about this at the poker game last night.
Okay. All right. So are you, is this part of your thing or no?
No.
Okay. Did you watch it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right, so I watched this because I was under the impression, and so this, you know what? Sorry, back to Andy Huggins, thumbs up. Okay, so for this one here, I was under the impression that it was going to be a lot better than it was. So to kind of give it away, I'm leaning more towards a thumbs down with this, because nothing in the end, when you watch this video, yeah, you're still just like, God, this guy's a piece of shit. He's so awful. He did this.
Wait, Andy Huggins or P Diddy?
Yeah.
Who are you talking
I know,
about?
right? Who knew? But yeah, like you know, Diddy, and it's like in the end, nothing is resolved. Like nothing has changed. I mean, like, yeah, it's like, okay, there's a couple new things that we've seen here, and I feel bad saying it's like, oh, I wanted this to be a little more salacious, but it's like, I kind of wanted this to be a little bit more about his recent arrests and all this stuff, but it's only 4 episodes, and like so much of it dealt with still like the Tupac and the Biggie thing, you know, which is like we're past that. We're past that. So Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, who is like the driving force behind this, which, and that's another thing to me, is it just seems so much of this is just done out of him being so petty, you know, because it's like, you know what, I'm going to put this fucking video out. It like, so it's, I guess it's informative if you have no idea who this guy is, but I'd say 90% of the stuff that I saw, it's just like, I know all of this, you know? So this is more so just something he put out to be like kicking P Diddy when he's down, you know?
I'll say this. First, we're not over the Tupac stuff because we don't have a conclusive finish. We don't know who killed him. And number 2, the backstory of this, which I believe this is what happened, is hilarious. P Diddy is the one who hired camera crews to follow him during the case. So I assume he thought he was going to get off. That is a Diddy reference. But anyway, so I thought he probably thought like this was going to be his vindication thing, and then he could put it out on Netflix, whatever it was going to be. But then he got sentenced to jail, and so obviously you don't want to put that footage out. So what I heard was he did not pay the videographers who like followed them around. So they had all this footage.
Yeah.
And then that's when 50 Cent came in and was like, yeah, I'll buy that footage. And, it was basically like, I'm buying it to put it out so that we could see what all happened. And also the ending is hilarious to him. Right.
Yeah. And that's okay. So that's good. I didn't know that was the circumstances. I didn't realize that P Diddy just didn't hire that guy, because obviously it says
didn't pay that guy. That guy.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. So it does say in there at some point that obviously it's like the producers of this show obtained the footage, and it's like they don't tell you how though or why. Because you're watching this and it's like, how the hell did they get this footage? Like, this cameraman is in his room and he's talking to the guy. So now it makes more sense that he would have been like that much of a piece of shit that it's just like, all right, fuck it. We don't need that footage. But that vein too, to not think that guy was going to do something with that footage.
Yeah, and that being said, like, that's what I heard. So I don't know if that's like 100% truth or what the real fact, but that's like what I heard and why I thought it was hilarious. And that's what we were talking about yesterday, was just like how funny 50 Cent is, because there was also a thing. I think he feuded with Ja Rule back in the day. This is what Pee Wee was telling us yesterday. And Ja Rule went to jail and then or came out of jail or something and was doing this big tour. And he does the show, and all of a sudden all these tickets are flying, and Ja Rule is going to sell out whatever stadium. The show happens, and the first 10 rows are completely empty because 50 Cent bought all the tickets and then just made it so it looked like nobody was going to be there for him.
Yeah.
And you're like, this guy's awesome. This guy's the man. It's just like trolling.
High levels of petulance, and I love it. So I guess if you're interested in maybe learning a little bit, but mostly all you do is you come away and you're like, that guy's just evil. He's a fucking piece of shit. So
documentary thumbs down, but reason for the documentary thumbs up.
There you go. Yeah. And then the last thing I have is some food, actually. All right. Wow. This is the apple pie ice cream from Oberweis. It is the new seasonal flavor. For those of you who can, I don't know if they have Oberweises in the South, because I know we have a lot of listeners in Arizona and Florida and whatnot. But anyway, I was really bummed when they got rid of the blueberry pie ice cream, which was a summer seasonal one. So last night we went to Oberweis and I was like, you know what? Let me try that apple pie. And it's so good. It's got pieces of crust in it, and then it has the kind of fusion of the cinnamon and the crust. You're so excited, I can tell. But anyway, that is a huge thumbs up for the apple pie ice cream at Oberweis. Get it while you can. How about you?
Oddly enough, apple pie ice cream is the first thing on my list. No, absolutely not. I would not eat apple pie ice cream. First and foremost, the New York Knicks. Thumbs up to the New York Knicks, who have made it to the NBA Finals, which are, if you're listening to this podcast the day it drops, and hopefully it drops Tuesday and not Wednesday, because I'm a blue collar boy. I work a lot.
Blue collar.
It's tough to edit these things. But the Knicks are taking on Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs in the NBA Cup Finals on Tuesday. The Spurs beat the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday. The Thunder only have 2 losses on the year. They're 26-2 or something like that, and they've only lost by 2 points.
That's insane. That is insane.
They're pushing. They're pushing for that Bulls, or I guess it's Golden State Warriors record or whatever. But I think of it as the Bulls record.
I think of how good these teams are these days, and it's I don't even think, when you hear that now, it's I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't been beaten yet. So,
I mean, the Thunder have also been hurt. Their legit starting 5 hasn't even been really playing. I mean, they play, but like haven't been starting all at the same time. It's just insane. Also, they have the Clippers first round pick next year, and the Clippers are like the worst team in the league, so they're going to get a first round pick too. It's insane what Oklahoma City's doing. But I want to ask you, because every sports league is probably too long, except football is probably close to being okay, if not okay. But like baseball, hockey, basketball, they're all way too long.
Yeah.
Does a mid-season tournament interest you if it were to happen in baseball or hockey for some reason?
I can't say no, but at the same time, excuse me. So it feels to me like it's taking away from the actual NBA finals. I mean, I know it's not, but at the same time, what is the point of this?
I think that's
what
the problem.
I don't understand is what is the point? Because like they're not playing extra games. These are games that still go down in the NBA tally marks. So that's what I don't understand. What I just don't get it. I don't have anything against it. I just don't understand it.
It's just an attempt, obviously, to make these December games feel important. I do think it's
stupid that they have to do that for these players. I agree with you. So fucking much money.
But that's what they're instead of shortening a season, they're like, no, we're not going to take less money when people are going to come to all these games. Let's just try and do this thing. And I'm one of the people who's like, this is a dumb idea. I hate it. But I will say, last year and this year in particular, the NBA Cup, like, you can see the players playing on a different level than they would during a regular season game, especially when it gets to the bracket part. I think that's because there's groups, and then if you win the groups, it goes to the bracket. Once it gets to the bracket, it's like high level, like people clearly trying basketball. And you're like,
so
ideally you'd like that to be happening during the regular season.
Yeah.
But it's too long of a season for them to care. Like, why care? And it's not basketball. It's baseball. It's hockey. Yeah. It's everything. Like, it's just too long.
Yeah, I would definitely say baseball. I mean, baseball goes without saying. It's 162 games. And the funny thing is, those four sports, hockey, baseball, basketball, and football, as far as like, for the four major American sports, they all last about the same amount of time. It's about 5 to 6 months for the regular season. But baseball is every day. So, I mean, it's insane. And when you get to like September, for me at least, it's like you kind of start fucking forgetting that baseball is still going. It's like, good Lord. By that time, they've called up like the scrubs, the guys that suck. I mean, just to preserve players. But no, not that the basketball thing. To get back to that, I just, like I said, it seems weird to me that the NBA has to re-incentivize the players. It's like, come on, we're doing this for the fans. So what's the award for winning this thing?
I think the players get a like $1 million bonus. So they like it because
where does that money come from though? Sponsors probably.
Sponsors and whatever. They make insane amounts of money. But I think it's like really an incentive for the players who are on like minimum contracts, because you get this like really nice extra money that is, obviously any money is good money or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's why like the better players like playing for the players who aren't making money too, because it's like a bonus for them. So it's like good for teamwork. And I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting question, but I'm with you. It's kind of weird. I think they should only do tournaments and no regular season.
That's it.
Do a tournament with every team, and then
when one ends, just start it.
Yeah, give them a month to relax, start up a new one. That's it. Just keep tournaments going.
Oh yeah.
I want to give a thumbs up to the Knicks, thumbs down to this band. I believe they're called Carpenter Brut. Producer Tony was telling me about this band yesterday, and I was like, well, their name sucks. And he was honest. He was like, you're tough to read. Like, I don't know what you like and what you don't like. I know you like electronic music sometimes, and this is like synthy, but it's like dark wave, almost goth synthy, which is not what I like. And so on the way home from poker, I was like, I'm going to listen to these guys. And I listened to like their first 5 Spotify songs. And I did not like, actually, I liked one of them because it was a cover of the song Maniac. I'm a maniac.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny in like German synth goth music or whatever. But I just could not get into it.
Maniac.
Yeah, I imagine fire going off.
Singing it.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry, producer Tony, but thumbs down to them. Thumbs up to a band called Liquid Mike. I'm not sure if I talked about these guys already or not. I may have talked about them a couple weeks ago. If I did, I apologize. If not, thumbs up anyway. These guys are like 90s sounding, Primitive Radio Gods, Everclear, that era. I absolutely love this band, and I want to know if anybody actually checks them out. Who do you think they sound like? Because to me, they sound very 90s alternative rock. I just can't pinpoint which band it is. So Liquid Mike, the song that I really like is called AT&T, and big thumbs up to them. And then
is this Mike M-I-C or M-I-K-E?
K-E.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Then my final one for this week, Goff. I did it.
Oh.
Last week, after we finished this, you had brought this up during our podcast. And I said, you know what? I got time. I looked it up. I think it's only like a 90-minute movie, which is beautiful.
Yep.
I watched The Warriors, your favorite movie of all time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, this movie, I was expecting it to be a little gay, just based off of how you describe it, like gangs. I turned it on. They're dressed alike.
Yeah.
I was so confused at first because it's like, it almost seems like a childish sort of thing because they're like a gang that all wears the same vest.
Yeah.
And then like a gang that's all dressed as baseball people or whatever.
Baseball furies.
It's kind of, I'm kind of like, okay, so this is like a childish thing, but then it's rated R and there's like, potential rape.
Yeah, there's like an almost
like,
rape scene and
yeah. So as I was watching this, I realized this is your blood sport. Like this is your, I will watch this. I know all the lines to this movie. Yep. This is a great movie. And I gave it not only a shot, I watched the entire thing and I took notes. I got some notes for you that I wanted to go over here.
Okay.
It was a very pro wrestling style movie to me. Like just these like separate gangs and like what they're fighting about and just like it's a little cheesy, half gay, but I'm into it. All right, like I'm a
lot of skin.
This is good. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of Peter Pan vibes. Does that make sense to you?
What do you mean?
A little gay, a little gang related. This movie was a little gay to me.
Okay.
But like in the best way possible, like with fight scenes and gangs. Like I don't know. I just thought it was very, very funny. The Baseball Furies, creepy. That's when I was like, okay, now we're getting into like these different things. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the Baseball Furies were a Chicago indie pro wrestling staple, like a tag team that came out dressed as the Baseball Furies. I thought this was like their idea.
Thing. Okay.
I didn't realize this was from the Warriors or whatever, but I remember watching these guys in Windy City Pro Wrestling back 25 years ago. The Baseball Furies is what their name was. Yeah. And they were creepy, you know, the face paint and stuff. They were always bad guys pointing bats at people and stuff like that. And then I'm watching this movie and I'm like, holy crap, this is where that came from. And but that's really that scene in the park with the baseball bats and they have to fight these guys. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I'm gonna shove that bat up your ass and turn you into a popsicle.
Yeah, the lines in the movie were fantastic. I'm gonna just ruin it right now. Big thumbs up for this movie.
Woo!
Absolutely love the movie.
All right, hell yeah,
great pick. I'm glad I watched it.
Me too.
There was a gang called the Orphans, which was a hilarious.
They're a bunch of pussies.
But it looked like they were led by David Schwimmer. That's what I was thinking.
Totally.
It's not, but it kind of looks like him, and it kind of is like the gang that he would be in charge of. And he was kind of like, "What are you doing on our turf, Monica?" or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like Yeah, it was kind of funny. The girl who was with the orphans, who then like goes with the main characters.
Mercy.
What's her name?
Mercy.
Mercy. So she was in a show called Too Close for Comfort, which I love.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a sitcom that featured Ted Knight of Caddyshack fame.
Okay.
And
I don't know. I don't recall.
So Ted Knight was the father, and this girl from this show, and then some like hot blonde. This was in probably early 80s. They were like, we're gonna move out of the house. And they moved out of their house because they were old enough to like get their own place, but they basically lived in their dad's basement, like they were renting it out. And then there was a gay guy who like lived next door, but you couldn't call him gay. He was just like sassy and whatever. Like they never called him gay because it was the early 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was just like, that's what the show was. And that girl is from that show. I immediately was like, oh my God, like that's what got me. I was like, she was in Too Close for Comfort. So that was good stuff. Also, the lady who's on the radio, there's like a black lady who you only see like her mouth, and she's, you know, sending a message via music or whatever.
She's the
I was
DJ.
like, I recognize this voice. Where do I recognize this voice from? And it happened to be the chief lady from Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, the TV show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is incredible.
I know.
So I loved all of that. I also love that it's like based in New York and old time New York, so you get to see what like they're actually outside. I'm guessing. Like
there's so much awesome lore to this movie that I've read. I mean, like a lot of it was like they had to film at night because they didn't have permits for a lot of stuff. They were like actually getting threats from a lot of real gangs like throughout when they were trying to do this, because it's like obviously it's like these are fake gangs, but it's like you're still putting a bunch of people in these like colors, you know, and it's just so it was pretty awesome. And then I've talked about the video game for this for PS2. So if you're a fan of like the Grand Theft Auto games, it's a Rockstar game. You essentially play out the entire movie, and then anytime, like, so in the movie when the Warriors split up, you get to play like the scenes that you don't. So like when you're watching this group and it's like, we don't know what the other three guys are doing. They just made up stories for those. So you get to play that stuff. So it's a super long game and it's awesome.
The movie, while I was watching it, I was like, this is kind of like a video game because they're just kind of like different levels and different gangs that they're
just
going
one gang
through.
to the next. Different level. Yeah. Like one time you fighting in the bathroom and then the next one you're fighting in the park. And then the next. Yeah.
I also read that one of the gangs that like was against like the filming of the movie, they then hired them to be security for the movie. So they were like, all right, as long as we're making money, we're fine or whatever. But I loved like that old New York, seeing, you know, cars that look like rectangles and stuff like that because they're just like old whatever. Have you ever watched Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3? Have we talked about that on this show?
No, but I mean, like I don't know if I've actually seen it, but yeah, I know
that movie's awesome. I think it's a 70s movie. Jerry Stiller's in it. Walter Matthau is in it. It's a fantastic movie, and then they eventually redid one in like 2006 with Denzel Washington and John Travolta or whatever. Didn't watch
it's
that
about
one.
A train, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
and stuff that happens on the train and whatever. But that 1970s one is so cool because you get to see 1970s New York, like just how different a city was 50 years ago or whatever. And that's another thing that I liked about this movie. I assumed the roller skaters were going to be either your favorite or least favorite. Either least favorite because they weren't rollerbladers, or favorite because they were on wheels. That scene in the bathroom was awesome. That fight scene that they have, absolutely fantastic. And then the end of the movie comes, and the guy who the Warriors come out and play.
Luther.
I totally forgot that was like part of this movie until he said it. With like 5 minutes left.
It's iconic. I mean, it's like become such. It's so funny too, actually, in that P Diddy thing. Like there was a section. It must have been from one of his videos where he's like, it showed him and he's clinking bottles together, and it was like something like Bad Boy come out and play or something like that. But
so that was really cool. That guy has such a punchable face. Like he's the perfect person for that character. And
yeah.
The ending of the movie was like so satisfying. I don't have anything bad to say about this movie. I loved it from beginning to end.
Oh yeah.
I won't say it's my favorite ever, whatever, because I get it. If you watched it when you were young and that was your movie, that I can see like why it stuck. Like this was just a fantastic movie, and I knew you were going to be happy that I liked it. I wanted to hate it so bad so that I could like make fun of you, but it was too good. It was an excellent movie, and so a huge thumbs up for the Warriors. And that's all I got for this week. So let's move on to our top 3 favorite and least favorite mustaches. Goff, why don't you start us off with our top 3?
All right, so for my top 3, I gotta change the rules here, and I'm gonna go with a duo. Actually,
okay.
I've got the duo of Major League Baseball pitchers Dennis Eckersley and Randy Johnson. So. Now these nothing extraordinary, because I bet someone like a Useless Dave is going to be listening right now and he's like, how are you not adding Raleigh Fingers to this list? Okay, right? You're thinking the same exact thing. Now Raleigh Fingers, hell of a mustache, but put a little too much work into it. I'm more of like, hey, I like the natural mustache. So when Randy Johnson's out there killing birds in the middle of games. And Dennis Eckersley too, with like the 80s and 90s A's. I mean, it was just like, I think baseball mustaches just in the 80s we could probably put as like our number 3 would just be MLB in the 80s for mustaches. So yeah,
that's a good call, and I like the too much effort for a mustache is not a cool look. So
I mean, like you can
it.
be like, wow, hey, that's impressive, but it's like not my style.
I'm gonna go with my number 3, and I had a tough time doing a top 3, not because I had a tough time figuring out 3. I have like 7 that I was like in consideration for.
Okay,
and I have to go with this one because it's manly, it's perfect, and it's Nick Offerman.
Yeah,
and there's nothing else to say. It might be the greatest mustache of all time. For me, it's number 3.
It's my number 1. I'll just say, I mean, we might as well talk about
that's
it.
That's part of the reason why I didn't want to say it, because I assumed it was yours.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why it shouldn't be number 1. It's just a great mustache.
And this isn't me just being biased, Parks and Rec, but I mean, like, because Nick, and a lot of it does have to do with the character, because Nick Offerman doesn't always have that beautiful mustache. But there is actually a scene in one of the episodes where Ron is super drunk, and Amy Poehler and Rashida Jones's characters are trying to get him to calm down. And at one point, one of them yells out, "Grab his mustache," which is just so hysterical that it's that course, and like that's what something you could do is grab onto his mustache. So but Nick Offerman / Ron Swanson is my number 1. So what's your number 2 then?
My number 2, we're going to the world of wrestling. I think is one of the strongest mustaches. He's the Nick Offerman of the WWF. It's Rick Rude.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going a different way.
I know. The different way is coming up shortly, probably. But Rick Rude to me is just like a man's mustache.
Yeah.
There was actually, I don't know if you know about this, but one of his most famous wrestling moments was that he was on WWF and WCW TV in like the same day or week or whatever it was, and ECW all in the same week. But
really,
the thing that happened was like one, I forget which one it was, like on WWE he had a mustache, but in WCW he didn't, or so, like he cut the mustache off, whatever it was. It was because one was live and one was taped, and they were trying to like mess with them, whatever it was. But Rick Rude, just strong man's man of a mustache. I'd Google Rick Rude, and I wouldn't do it in front of people who will make fun of you, though. What's your number 2?
All right, so my number 2 then. It's and again, this is not bias, I swear, but it is another Parks and Rec kind of alum, and it is Sam Elliott, who Yeah, from the ranch and from Mask, and well, actually, I think in Mask he had more of it, and even the first Roadhouse, I think he was more kind of what I have, more just like a beardy thing. But yeah, I love Sam Elliott for that when he's not so much when he's doing like all of the Wrangler commercials and pretty much anything where he's narrating the commercials is just like, oh yeah, hell yeah, America. But yeah, just another nice, thick, loving, lush beard. Yeah, and I've again, he didn't really have it like I said in Roadhouse, which another one of the action movies that probably should have been on my potent notables, but yeah, so I'm gonna go Sam Elliott.
So your number one was Nick Offerman. My number one, potentially who you think it was going to be for number two. We're staying in the world of wrestling.
All right.
Regardless of what you think of this person, might have the most iconic mustache of all time. Yeah. I'm going Hulk Hogan.
Okay. That's yeah, that is what I assumed was your.
Forget about everything you don't like about Hulk Hogan or like about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
that mustache is iconic, and the shape, the color, everything about it.
I was gonna say, I think the especially like when he did the NWO stuff too. I mean, like I think it almost like to new levels. It was just like, oh my god, he changed it, you know. So
yeah, so that's my number one. What do you got for potent notables?
Okay, so for potent notables, I more so have fictional ones, but the first one is from the Blink 182 video First Date. It's Tom DeLonge's character. I think his name's Boomer, one of my favorite videos. I don't remember. I think it was the one we did our music videos. Like I think I mentioned this video. It's a video that takes place in like the early 80s, late 70s, whatever, and it's just like a 70s summer video. So it's just these guys with really bad, shitty mustaches and stuff. And it's just, you know, obviously Blink 182 are hysterical. So that one always stood out to me. What else do I have? I've got the entire highway patrol in Spurbury, Vermont from Super Troopers. All of their mustaches, which they talk about throughout the movie, and they're actually competing in the movie. And then this one's for you, Elf from Melmac. You brought this one up many years ago, and I never forgot it. The biggest mustache in the world. It is the St. Louis Arch. That's for you, Elf. And because I think Elf told me they used to do a thing called Stash Bash, which was like a convention. Wow. And he's like, yeah, they hold it in St. Louis, which is home of the largest mustache, the St. Louis Arch. So
that's pretty solid, actually.
Hell yeah.
Your Blink 182 one reminds me of the cheesiness and absurdity of the Beastie Boys Sabotage video mustaches.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Where they're just kind of like, you know, they're fake, but they're still absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I have Lemmy from Motorhead.
Okay, it's a good one.
Man's Man of a Mustache. Tom Selleck, arguably the greatest mustache. Him and Nick Offerman is probably like a mustache off between the two of them. Burt Reynolds, solid mustache.
Yeah, always.
And then here's another wrestling one. Wrestlers have some of the greatest mustaches. Iron Sheik.
Oh yeah,
just fantastic with the curls, and gotta love it. So that takes us to our bottom three, our least favorite mustaches of all time. I'm gonna start this one off.
Okay,
I'm going with my number three. We're going Hitler.
Yeah.
Now Hitler's usually
my number one. But yeah.
That's your number one.
It was, you know what it was, but I actually will just put him at 3 because it doesn't really matter.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, if there's one nice thing I can say about Hitler, it would be that he has a pretty solid mustache. I mean, he made it his own thing.
Yeah, no, see, I gotta no. See, for me, this isn't even me being like, oh, what are we doing? Like, I actually wrote it down because it's like, and I'm sorry, Charlie Chaplin, I had to throw you in here too. And it's like, I hate this mustache. And it's like,
No,
it literally looks like you just have a runny nose and like you're like shit, like dirt is coming out. So
I'm with you. I was trying to be funny. It's a horrible mustache.
I know you are.
And Charlie Chaplin, it's also a horrible mustache.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would be funny to put Hitler at number 3 in any list.
Yeah. So he got bumped from number 1 to number 3. All right. So what's your number 2 then?
So then my number 2 is someone who wore the Hitler mustache worse than Hitler, and that's Michael Jordan. Do you remember the documentary?
Oh my God.
When he had the Hitler mustache?
The most recent doc, the COVID doc?
Yes. Well, what was that called?
Yeah, it was I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but I remember more of the memes about him having just really bloodshot eyes. I don't remember the mustache.
True. No, he had absolutely horrible mustache. And it's just like some people should not have it. He had it. And it was like Hitler, but wispier. Like a wispier.
Wispy. Yeah. That's a great word for a mustache.
Yeah, so Google it. Google Michael Jordan mustache when you get a chance, and then when you're done throwing up, tell us your top 3. So what's your number 2?
All right, so my number 2 is John Waters. Are you familiar with this? Yeah, he's got. I mean, like if any, and I mean, like I feel like this guy just full on goes for it. But I mean, if any, like a man you wouldn't want to be like stuck in a room with. I mean, like it's just like, oh God, what's gonna happen to me? His mustache literally is like cut so that it is only above the lip, and then there is just like a gap in between the nose, so it is literally like a pencil line. And yeah, he just looks like someone that would kill you. I mean, like he is like a creepy looking man. So, and yeah, he's also, he directs a lot of those fucking weird ass movies that your cousin Nick loves. So yeah, John Waters is my number 2.
Solid number 2.
Thank you.
Not watery at all. My number 1 is going to be, I wonder what you think about this. Another Mike. If I could be like Mike. Michael Cera.
Yeah.
You ever see Michael Cera's mustache?
He's been perpetually trying to grow one for God knows how long.
The creepiest mustache I've ever seen. Yeah. I don't think it grows evenly. I think it grows kind of to the side.
Yeah.
And it's just always been bad. Now, I do think he got to a point where he was, he grew out like a kind of a beard and mustache combo. But if you look at pictures of him with just the mustache, yeah, that's number 1 in my heart for sure.
It is nightmare fuel. I do agree. Okay, my number 1, you're probably not going to understand this one because it's like it's fictional, but it's also real. So, you're familiar with Henry Cavill, the actor, the stunning Britishman? All right, so Henry Cavill played Superman in a few of the DC movies, and when they were making the Justice League movie, they went back and they had to do a bunch of reshoots. Okay, so in the actual movie, Superman does not have any kind of facial hair. So when they were doing these reshoots, this is when they were making, I don't know, whichever Mission Impossible movie Henry Cavill's in, the one with like the famous like fight scene in the bathroom where he like cocks his arms. So anyway, word is that Tom Cruise, being like the big head honcho on the movie, was like, no, he can't cut his facial hair. If he can go redo these shots for DC, but he can't lose the facial hair. So instead of them just being like, you know what, fine, we'll work it out so that he can have facial hair, they CGI'd out the entire mustache. And the movie starts off and you're like, good God, it looks so bad because the lip that they put on there, it looks like he has like gauze underneath, like almost like he had dental work done. I don't know if you could look it up.
No, I'm looking at it right now, and it's crazy
right?
Because when you type in Henry Cavill, CGI mustache is like the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, and it's a shame
weird.
because it's like, They could have just, there's so many like there's a bunch of people that have done like deep fake technology and stuff that's so much cheaper, because I think it cost $3 million for them to do that throughout the entire movie. And it looks so bad. Does it not?
No, that looks horrible. And honestly, him with a mustache doesn't look bad, except in the as Superman. It looks pretty weird as the Superman. He looks like a little bit creepy as Superman, but his regular mustache doesn't look bad. So they wasted a lot of money on that. And that's why AI is going to take over the roles of movies pretty soon.
Exactly. No more CGI, AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my number one. And I didn't even, it's not like it ruined the movie for me because I didn't really even care about the movie, but it's more so when you see stuff like that and it's like, this is sometimes why I hate Hollywood.
How about potent notables?
Wait, what was your number one? Did you do your number one?
Yeah, Michael Cera.
That's right. I'm sorry. Okay, so my potent notable, this is another fictional one, and I can't remember which episode it is, but it's from The Office. It is in season 9 when the guys are doing Movember, and like it shows them, and they're all like, "Yeah," and it like Toby is like you said, wispy before. That's such a perfect word. His is like, and I think Daryl makes a comment. It's like, damn, dude. It's like, because they come back from the weekend and he's just got like the ones that some of them are hanging over his lip. And I mean, it's like so gross looking. And then it just shows the rest of the guys back there. And one of them, the kid Clark, he has like the Michael Cera thing. He's trying to grow a mustache. And yeah, I think to me, that was always one of the funniest things is like when you can't grow a mustache, but what you can is just that thin line.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just a really funny part. And again, I can't remember the episode, but I thought of Toby's beard because he like jumps in front of. They're doing it for Movember, and he's just like, "Smile if you like men's prostates," to like some random woman on the street. And, yeah, so it's a great scene. So yeah, that's my that's all I got for the worsts.
Yeah, when you're like a grown man, but you can only grow like a 13-year-old Hispanic boy mustache, like that's pretty bad. That's just it's always a gross look.
Yeah, I shaved recently, and I do get that sometimes above my mouth when it starts coming up over my lips. That's when I'm like, all right, I gotta shave, because that's when like people start looking at you like, ugh.
So I have a bunch of potent notables. I got Adam Morrison, former #1 pick in the NBA. If you remember, he went to Gonzaga. Gross mustache. I got Ron Jeremy, also gross mustache.
Also the mustache.
yeah, the mustache is also gross. Me, I don't know if you've ever seen me with a mustache. Megan has threatened divorce many times. Anytime I like post that picture online, she's like, "Take it down or this is over." Got milk mustaches, pretty bad.
That's a good one. I like that.
Generally pretty bad. And then the last one I have that I was kind of thinking this might be on your top list. Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, you know what? The only reason I left him off is just because he's on so many of my lists. Yeah. But
I think this is one of the worst mustaches.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got the teeth thing going on. So that with the mustache is it's all kind of weird and gross.
Yeah. That's a good point. And that mustache is leaning more towards the John Waters one. So I am being a little hypocritical here. I think just because I love Freddie. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a bad stash.
But I will say this: when he shaves the mustache, might be even worse. Possibly even worse.
Yeah. Hey, facial hair can do a lot. Like I said, Joni numerous times has told me it's like whenever I'm like sometimes when I go too short, it's just like, God, grow it back.
Yeah, I shave every single day. Everything. Wow. Top to bottom, toes to head.
Your head too? Yeah.
So I also did top and bottom goatees. I want to go.
Can you explain though why we did go or why goatees even came up though?
I don't remember.
Well, it was just because we were talking top and bottom mustache, and you're like, well, technically a bottom mustache is a goatee.
Oh,
it was like, yes. All right. So that, man.
I forgot about that.
The only thing I'll say is, I don't know, probably the guy from Static X. Wayne Static.
Not on my list, but was in consideration. So I'm going to start with my top goatees first. Number 3, Scott Ian of Anthrax. Legendary. Solid. Beautiful goatee. Number 2 from the Bozo Show, Wizzo.
Ooh,
Wizzo,
that's a good
tremendous,
one.
great mustache as well. A little creepy, but yeah, fantastic goatee on Wizzo.
Yeah.
And number 1, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Nobody
That's a
wore it
good
better
one.
than Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and he even used it in his gimmick. He would like stroke the goatee. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Potent notables for goatees. I have Serge from System of a Down.
Good.
I have Dimebag Darrell. You know, used to dye it red. It was very good. And I got Suge. I got pictures of Suge all over my house with a goatee. Suge can wear the goatee, my friend.
Yeah, Suge's got a good
Or the
one.
mustache.
Some
or
pictures
the
up here. Yeah. Wow.
Then I'm going to go with bottom 3 goatees here. Number 3, Batista, Dave Batista. I don't know if you ever saw in like 2000, let's call it 6, 7. He used to have this little stupid thing.
The soul patch, right?
It was kind of a soul patch, but it went all the way down. So it looked like it was a like leading to goatee territory.
Yeah.
I never liked it. I always thought he was a weirdo. Now, after many years, I've come to like him as a human being. Like anytime I hear him on interviews and stuff like that, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I like him as an actor, but I was never a fan of his wrestling, and I definitely didn't like his goatee. Number 2, we're kind of staying in the same ballpark as far as the look of it. Only this person also had jewelry attached to it. It's the singer of Disturbed.
I just thought of him.
Yeah. So pretty much the same as Batista, but he had some sort of like charm or chain thing attached.
He had like hooks almost, like that would kind of wrap around the chin.
I will give him credit. When he was like 45, he was like, that's enough, and he shaved it. He got rid of all of the stuff and whatever. I don't know anything about Disturbed, but yeah, definitely good to get rid of that thing. And then number 1 worst goatee of all time. It's because it's a total package situation. Fred Durst. No, I'm just gonna say
total package.
Like, everything. It's everything about Fred Durst into one. The goatee is just epically bad to go along with it. So thank you, Fred Durst, for being our number 1. And then I have 2 potent notables. I have Roger Clemens. Now, he spent a lot of time without facial hair, but then when he did grow the facial hair, that's when I think that's when like the steroid stuff came out and everything. And it was just kind of like, oh, is he evil? Is Roger Clemens? Is that what the goatee is? And then the other one I have is anyone who was at January 6th, all your goatees stuff. And they're pretty bad. So that's my top and bottom goatees.
A great one really quick, I guess, off the top of my head, that since you're mentioning like the bad looking goatee, in The Office, when Ryan becomes Michael's boss, and he has the goatee, and then Michael's trying to grow it, and Dwight is as well, and they all look so bad. But yeah, that's the best thing is like with Ryan, it's like that's how you villainize someone, you give them a mustache or a beard. So that's great. Great list, bottom, man.
Mustaches and goatees. We hope you guys had a good time. Next week, Christmas Cranktacular 2. We're back. We're talking about all sorts of Christmas stuff. If there's anything in particular you guys want us to either do a top 3 list about or just to talk about randomly, let us know, and we will be happy to do so. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.
Later.